Good evening, everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is New Moon Child. Um, Welcome. So today I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I did pull a card from the Sacred Destiny Oracle. That will be the message for the collective. However, today I'm going to talk about a little bit about astrology. For those of you who knows me well, know that I have a secret passion in astrology. I'm always reading, studying, and I've always had an interest since I was a really, really young girl. So, um, so today this video is going to be a little bit different. I'm trying to do something different. So if you like the information that I'm going to talk about, present to you, please like, comment, or share this video. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about Mercury retrograde. We have started to feel is pre-shadow, I believe, on April 26th. Mercury will go retrograde fully on May 10 all the way to June 2. And we also going to have 2 weeks of post-shadow. So in other words, where Mercury retrograde starts to begin, there's a 2 week pre-shadow and there's a 2 week post-shadow. All right, so as Mercury is going to retrograde, we are going to start feeling the effects of it. Okay, and one of the things that we're gonna feel about is a lot of travel delays during that time period, um, issues with the internet technology, which I know that some of us have already started to experience it, even it hasn't gone retrograde yet. um, a lot of us, we're going to be getting stuck in traffic. We may be losing emails or text messages, because remember, it rules communication, and Mercury rules communication and technology. So you're going to start experiencing that. You're going to start feeling more of its effect starting May 10 all the way to June 2nd. Okay, and as Mercury starts to go direct after June 2nd, you're still going to feel some of its effects for the next 2 weeks, which is considered to be the post shadow. Okay. Some of you during this time period, be careful with your purchases. What is it you're gonna purchase? You may make a really poor purchase decision. So be mindful. If you're going to spend money, especially if it's a large amount of money, do your research. I really highly recommend for you, if you're going to purchase a home during this time period, you may want to postpone it and perhaps do so like after the post shadow of Mercury. Okay, because perhaps there could be some sort of confusion, because remember, Mercury can create a lot of confusions, and you have to be certain that this is what you really want, because if you do make a poor decision purchase, then you're going to regret it later, and that's something that it will be a burden for you. Okay. Another thing that Mercury retrograde may bring, some past issues. It could be communication um, problems. For example, it could be a loved one, it could be a family member, or it could be some partnership relationships. There could be some past issues that will resurface, and it's going to create a lot of arguments. So be very cautious. Choose your word carefully. Be very mindful what you say or what you're going to communicate, because sometimes when you say things, you can't take it back. There may be a lot of tensions in relationships. So if there's any past issues that surface up, um, don't react to it. Just process it, think about it. Is it worth bringing this up? Because this is what Mercury is going to bring up. Okay. Mercury may bring up past people that perhaps you haven't talked to for long periods of time. For some of you, a lot of people only focus on your exes. It doesn't have to be exes. It could be a coworker. It could be a job may be calling you back to, maybe you left that job in really bad terms, and now they're realizing your worth and they're calling you back, to go back to that job. It can also be a family member that you haven't talked for long periods of time, and they might reach out to you. So be mindful of those things. It can happen. Okay. The zodiac signs that's going to be affected the most during this Mercury retrograde will be Taurus, Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces. Okay. Now, the next one that I would love to talk about, and it's going to take at least for the next 6 months, it will be Pluto retrograde. Pluto went retrograde on April 29th, and Pluto will be retrograde till October 8th. You know, only those that understand astrology will know that Pluto is a planet of transformation and destruction. So it will be in the sign of Capricorn this year. Last time it was in the sign of Capricorn, I believe, was back in 2008. So here we are with Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. So that means that it's going to affect business structures, karma, and it may affect your stability. So anything that has to do with, your stability based on work, businesses, monetary, be extra cautious, okay? Be extra cautious. Even though Mercury retrograde has more of an effect than Pluto retrograde, remember that the effects of Pluto retrograde, it's very slow, okay? Things are not gonna happen quickly, okay? As of Mercury retrograde, you start feeling the effects a lot faster, a lot quicker, and people will be speaking without thinking and saying things that they shouldn't, or regretting what they said. Be very cautious. But however, Pluto retrograde, it's like it moves slower, okay? Meaning that this is a perfect opportunity for you to do some shadow work, for this next 6 months. Do some shadow works. It's focusing a lot in your inner child trauma. So instead of like suppressing your feelings and running away from it, embrace it. All right. With Pluto retrograde, it's gonna make you face your fears. Okay. Embrace your fears. It's very important for you to embrace it. Okay. And also, we had a new moon on yesterday, the new moon solar eclipse that happened on April 30th. It happens to be that we had two major events, Pluto retrograde on the 29th, and then we had that new moon solar eclipse yesterday. So, I know for some of us, before having this new moon solar eclipse happening, we've all been feeling that our minds feels extremely heavy, and it creates confusion as to why you're feeling down or you have low energy. Okay, if you felt this way or you're still feeling this way, that is normal. Remember, we also have Pluto retrograde, which is going to make you face your shadows, your fears, your inner child trauma. Okay, so if you're feeling this way, is because it is necessary for you to face it. It is an important moment for you to heal any fears or any traumas that you've had suppressed for a very long time. So it's like you have to face it and work it. Embrace it. Don't suppress it, because it's going to keep surfacing up. And then, Pluto being as a transformative and destructive planet, I advise you not to ignore. Embrace it. Work your inner fears. Work your trauma. It's a perfect opportunity for you to heal, so you could close that chapter in your life. Okay. You may also want to take a look at events or situation in which you have done some self-sabotage or get in your own way. You may have to make some small adjustments. For example, if you have an interest in opening a business, because it talks about business structures, and you've been being negative about it, is that it's not gonna happen, I don't have the money for this, I don't have the money for that. It's like you need to ask yourself, is it really because of a money issue, or is it because there's some fears that you may fail? Okay, so you may want to have to make some small adjustments. And remember, you have 6 months to plan things out. I mean, with Pluto retrograde, it gives you plenty of time to plan things. It gives you plenty of time to heal. It gives you plenty of time to face your fear. It doesn't have to happen right away. So make a plan. If you want to open a business, or if you or you want to move to another position, to another job, plan it. Think about it. Make small adjustments, okay? Once you make those small adjustments and you have a plan, you're able to move forward. Remember, this is the perfect time to transform. And I keep repeating it, transform. Perfect opportunity to transform, to be better, okay? One of the important aspects about Pluto retrograde, it asks us to stand your ground, but do not act rashly. Meaning that since Pluto retrograde, it's in Capricorn, and there's a really, really strong emphasis on business structures. Remember, it could be it's a planet of destruction, meaning that there's going to be people that are going to test you. They're going to test your patience. They're really going to test your patience, and it's coming from work, from your colleagues, from your supervisor. Instead of reacting, respond. And what I mean by respond is like stop and think. Do I really want to argue with this person? Pick your battles. Sometimes it's best to give in and to move on. All right? There's no use, because, since it's a planet of destruction, and you react aggressively, there's a possibility that you could lose your business, or you could lose your job. And then it's going to hurt your stability. Okay, and remember, it is a karmic it's in a karmic planet, which is Capricorn. So be careful. You want to create positive karma. You don't want to create a negative karma. Okay, if you respond harshly, it's going to affect you in ways that it may be a little bit hard for you to recover from it. Remember, Pluto retrograde is going to be in this phase for 6 months. All right, so always keep in mind, is it worth it? Pick your battles. It's best to walk away. Maybe they're having a bad day. Think before you react. Respond. Okay? Stand your ground, but respond in a more positive way. All right? So this is what I have for you. A little bit of astrology here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and read I pulled one card. As I was shuffling, I was expecting more messages from Spirit, but they only had one message from one card from the Sacred Destiny Oracle. It's a beautiful deck here. All right, so the card that the message the Spirit have is like fulfillment. And I'm gonna read from the book, because I really like this message, and I think I'd like to share this with you. All right, fulfillment. The peach tree blossoms early, and because of this, it is often a symbol of spring and the renewal of life. It is also the Chinese symbol of a happy marriage and of fertility. In some traditions, it stands for immortality. Ripe peaches also portend fertility and great fulfillment. In Korean traditions, the peach represents happiness, riches, honors, and longevity. In the Renaissance, peaches represented the heart and love, and speaking the truth from one's heart. Fulfillment is at hand. No matter what is occurring in your life, put your attention on what is splendid, pleasurable, and luscious. Find bliss in the moment. Love fully, deeply, without hesitation. Cherish your friendships. Fill your life with people, experiences, and places that give you delight. Let go of people and things that don't feel empowering and that drag your energy down. You no longer need to put the needs of others ahead of your own needs. If you had any health issues, a ripe peach represents a return to better health. Savor your life with gusto and with grace. Experience and embrace life in all its permutations. If you want to conceive a baby or a new project or start a new relationship, this card is an excellent omen for a great outcome. I hope this message resonates with you, and I hope you enjoyed a little bit of astrology here and what to expect. And I will see you next week. Bye now.